近日，清华大学深圳国际研究院发文宣布，曾任哈佛大学化学与化学生物学系主任的国际知名纳米科学家查尔斯·利伯已全职加入清华大学国际研究院。现年65岁的利伯是美国国家科学院、医学院和工程院院士，发表过400多篇论文，是50多项专利的发明人。但2020年，他却因与中国高校合作而卷入美国的中国行动计划，被判有罪和软禁，直到去年退休。这个所谓的中国行动计划由美国司法部在2018年推出，要求美国94个地区的司法部门每年至少提起1至2宗针对中国的案件，从而引发了一系列针对科研人员的间谍指控，其中大多数是华裔。在全美范围内的87个科研机构中，246名华裔科学家受到了调查，其中103名科研人员的职业生涯被彻底摧毁。查尔斯·利伯就是首批被定罪的科学家之一。正是这一项计划把这一位顶尖的科学家推离了美国，而与查尔斯·利伯做出一样决定的科学家不在少数。美国杜克大学亚太研究所客座教授丹尼斯·西蒙日前接受香港中通社专访时表示，中国已然成为了全球人才的希望之地。
I think, in the Chinese case, the talent has now become front and center as a national priority. Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen have been designated as global talent hubs. We have had a global talent pipeline for the last 50, 60 years. And if you look at the leading or most prominent academics in the United States, if you look at the top companies in Silicon Valley, and you look at the research staff in many of our leading multinational companies, they all come from our pipeline out of East Asia. And in particular, they're coming from the greater China area, let's just say it that way. And with the issues now that have emerged, particularly the China Initiative, and even though it was terminated, and I think it has a number of Chinese Americans running scared, not only for themselves and their work, but also for their families. And then you add to that the fact that President Trump has done some very dramatic things with respect to the U.S. research system. He's cut back overhead cost payments from 55% to 15%. The Chinese government, because it is pushing real hard on, becoming an innovation-driven economy, has been steadily increasing its R&D spending. It was only a few years ago where China barely spent 1% of its GDP on R&D. Now, last year, China spent 2.66%, and it will continue to spend at that rate, I think, going forward. DeepSeek was the exemplar of that. And now people are talking about the so-called 6 small dragons in Hangzhou. And there seems to be a whole vanguard, small and medium dynamic companies that are appearing and surfacing. Again, this bodes very well for China's futures.
中美学术交流与合作不仅为世界带来了许多重要的研发成果，也培养出了一批具有全球视野的学者。然而，美国逐渐将学术与教育合作视为潜在的国家安全风险，加大对中美学术合作的审查，甚至意图脱钩。丹尼斯·西蒙认为，美国是中美关系正常化的最大受益者，不应该过度夸大风险而低估收益。
By the way, in education, a number of Chinese universities are now on the Times list of most highly ranked universities in the world. China has continued to invest in its universities. It's also gone through what a lot of people don't realize, some major curricular renovations. It has now taken note of an interdisciplinary work, and it has put together new kinds of majors. And we see new research centers appearing in Chinese universities. In other words, China is not standing still. It showed that China is a can-do country. Chinese talent pool can stand on its own. Frankly, I think that what we've seen is that Chinese people can be as entrepreneurial and as innovative and as creative as anybody else, as long as the environment gives them the bandwidth to allow them to pursue their creative instincts. Now, the personal security one was put in place because some researchers were worried. Chinese researchers going to the U.S. or U.S. researchers going to China, that they might be detained if they studied a sensitive topic or they got a hold of some sensitive data. But I will tell you this, I, along with a number of other people, are out there yelling, no. The United States has to recognize that the 21st century is the Pacific century. It's not the Atlantic century. If we were to decouple from China or delink in some ways, I think we would be doing damage not just to the Chinese side, but even more importantly, I think we would be doing damage to the US side, and that has me greatly concerned. We want to avoid technological surprise. We want to be part of new scientific discovery. And it's very clear that China is becoming, if it not is already, a center of gravity for scientific advance in the world. And therefore, the United States and China can coexist and can benefit the rest of the world by working together. We can solve half a problem, a part of a problem, but the only way we're going to get to solving a big part of these kind of huge problems is with U.S.-China active participation and active cooperation.